an exciting new segment on Good Morning Vail, and it's called Epic Locals. So if you think someone's really cool around the valley, let us know who they are. And we made the phone call to Kevin Shields not too long ago, and you came in the studio. So welcome to the show, and thanks for being an Epic Local.
Well, thanks, Tracy. Love being here.
What did you think when somebody called you up and said, hey, you're epic, we want you on TV?
It was a little bit humbling, I guess, you know, because it's kind of cool, but there's so many epic people here in the valley. It's just so hard. But
well, and a lot of times when we think about speed and going fast, we of course are thinking like ski racing, snowboarding, things like that. But with you, it's a little different because you're a car racer.
Yes, got into race cars when I was young. My uncle raced out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, raced NASCAR. So I grew up as a kid, remember putting bolts in race cars and going to the track and doing all the fun stuff. So I got to start racing, raced go-karts for a while, shifter karts, and then got into sports cars, SCCA Racing, which is Sports Car Club of America, had a Porsche 911 that I raced in the Southwest Series, which was a blast. Well,
wait, we need to talk about that because this just sounds so fun. I drove a Porsche for the first time last summer in Evergreen, you know, during,
yeah.
I was like, please don't tell me there's any cops around, because that is a fun car to drive really fast. So when you were racing on the streets, what, they block all the streets off and all these Porsches?
They block off streets, or they'll hold races at airports and create the courses that you drive on, or you'll go to a regular race track.
In the circle.
Correct. Okay. You could do a race track in the circle or a road course, whatever, and then compete against other drivers. So.
Now, which is your favorite, the race course or the road course?
Road course.
I would have to say that would be really exciting. Tell me about it. Like, are you just in that car going, how fast are you going?
It's a lot of adrenaline. I mean, you'll get up to 145, 150 miles an hour on the straightaways, but it's a lot of technical too. That's why I like the road courses. It's a little more technical. You had to set up the person in front of you to get into passes and things of that nature. So, you know, it wasn't necessarily the fastest car, but there was a good balance between setting up the car for a course and then the driver also.
Well, I know bike riders will set each other up to pass. Is that something that happens in car racing?
Exactly, happens exactly in the same way.
So there's camaraderie in competition.
There is, yes. Now you see a little bit more of that in NASCAR, where they we call trading paint. IndyCar's not so much, because you have the open wheels, and that can cause an accident. So those drivers are very skilled. I know in the valley here we've got a couple drivers, the Lazier family that's in IndyCar. And they race used to race with a friend of mine, Sam Schmidt. So
do you get a lot of speeding tickets?
Yes, I did get a big one, and I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, let's move on then, because you're also a bike racer.
I did as a kid. I raced bicycle motocross. Was into motorcycles. Got into bicycle motocross by accident. Lived in a little town, and got into it.
Is this you right here?
With a little more hair.
Like, you had a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Look at that. How old are you?
I was 16 years old there.
Now, this is a big thing for our local kids around the valley. I live down in Eagle, and we have a BMX race track, and there's huge races. So did you get your kids into it as well?
I did. They were late getting into it.
You look pretty tough in this photo.
Yeah, that was real tough in that photo.
Yeah.
But that was a photo shoot for, there was a magazine called BMX Plus, and so the factory I raced for was doing advertising. They were doing a lot of things around that, so they did a photo shoot, which was a blast, good time. And then we had, in 1983, it was the Knoxville, Tennessee World's Fair. They had the World's Fair, and they had the World Cup Championship there, and I won that race.
Nice.
So I got to say I was world champion for a while.
That's a pretty cool.
It was cool.
Was it good for your resume?
It was.
What do you do for a living?
Race bicycles.
You do?
No.
Still? Wow.
I manage hotels.
Okay.
So a little bit of a difference from racing, but it's still fast and furious. A lot of stuff goes on in hotels.
You got to run through those halls as fast as you can. Yeah, exactly. Well, we're so happy that you came in today.
Thank you.
Where do you live here in the valley?
Over in Singletree.
And are you a skier or a snowboarder?
I ski.
Okay, good. Yeah. And you have two boys, and they're right behind you.
Yeah, I've got 3 boys altogether, but the 2 that are racing are into it. My oldest one is in falconry. He hunts with a falcon.
Oh wow, that's really
a whole
cool
different
as
story.
Well. That's cool. Okay, so here's your boys.
There's the 2, the middle and the younger one at the Nationals in Vegas.
So you got your boys pretty motivated to be athletic guys and get out there and enjoy the fast speed of life, it seems like. Okay, well, Kevin, thank you for being an epic local and accepting our invite for Good Morning Vail. And like I said, if you have an epic local, you can give us a call and tell us who they are, because we would love to highlight them on the morning show. I mean, interesting folks live around here, for sure. It's going to be interesting on the roads this morning. You're going to have to be careful. We'll have a full look at that road report coming up here in a moment.